Let me welcome, how many are at Troy for the first time? Okay, that means we have some alumni here, right? Let me welcome you and welcome you back to Troy and tell you a little about Troy University. I've been fortunate to serve the university for a long time. My family and I arrived here in 1989, and so this is our 28th year of service to the university. When we arrived in Troy, we had 40 international students on campus. Today we have 76 countries enrolled on this campus, and upwards of some 400 students from China alone. And so our largest delegation comes to us from China. Why did we become Alabama's international university? It's because we want our students to be globally competitive, all of our students. We don't want them just to be competitive with Florida or Georgia or Mississippi or Tennessee. We want them to be competitive on a global basis, because that's the world that your generation will live in. And today we're very proud of this university, and let me tell you the simple philosophy that we followed. And Dr. Xu and I were just in China a few days ago. In fact, we just arrived from China. I did night before last. And so we've spent the last week and a half throughout China. And it's for a very good reason. We want our students to understand the world. And then you can appreciate the differences. And then you build lasting relationships. You never appreciate before you understand. And that's why we wanted to bring the world to Troy, to help all of our students really learn from each other, because we believe that our strength lies in our differences. And once you understand those differences, you're better prepared for the world of tomorrow. And so it's a real pleasure for us to have you here. We have many examples here of strong relationships. And let me tell you, the older I get, the more I realize life is about relationships. It's not about things, it's about people. And it's about people caring about people. And the way we've built this university, and now have an international university here, is through relationships. We have 125 partner universities in 31 other countries. We just built a new relationship a few days ago in Tianjin, where we have 10 new students coming in just a month from now. And so what we want to do is to bring great students from all over the world, let them meet the great students from this country, understand each other, appreciate each other, and then build those relationships that last. The last thing I want to mention to you, there throughout this campus you see some examples from those relationships. And one of our best friends is an international artist from Xi'an. Have any of you been to Xi'an before? Xi'an is one of my favorite places in China. And it was there, of course, that the terracotta warriors were discovered. And on this campus, we have artwork. In fact, if you look out the front door when you have a chance, there's a big statue across the street of Rodin's The Thinker. That literally was the first gift of our friend Hu Baoxiu from Xi'an. That was the first piece of sculpture that he gave us. Since then, he has given us many pieces. And 2 years ago, we presented him with an honorary doctorate. And he was so gratified by that he made the commitment to give us and to work with us to put 200 terracotta warriors on this campus. I don't know that you've seen those warriors, but you will see them while you're here. I hope you'll enjoy the park. I hope you'll take the time to go in the new International Arts Center and see some really beautiful artwork from all over the world. And one of the galleries we've named in honor of Hu Baoxiu. And so we have a great relationship, many great relationships throughout the world, but I think some of our best relationships are in China. It's so important that all of us work together to build a better world. I think you're doing your part because you're taking an important step, and that is learning the language. And so I'm proud of STARTALK. I'm proud of what has been done in terms of leadership. I'm really proud of this wonderful couple, and of course Dr. Xu Ira Xu has been the director of our Confucius Institute from the very beginning. And this year we celebrate 10 years of outstanding service. And when we were in Beijing in October of 2007 and our governor was with us, we made the statement that it was our goal to build the #1 Confucius Institute in the world. Now, if you don't know much about the Confucius Institutes, there are now 541 of those in more than 100 countries. In 2012, Dr. Xu, at a ceremony in China, received the recognition on behalf of our Confucius Institute that we were the #1 Confucius Institute in the world. And so we proclaimed it to be so in 2007, and in 2012 it was recognized, and so it's a very important part of who we are at this university. Welcome to Troy University. I hope you learn a lot. You build lasting relationships, and you always remember that once you study at Troy University, you're always a Trojan. So I declare all of you to be Troy Trojans. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome to Troy. Welcome to STARTALK program 2017. And we would thank our Chancellor to be with us for the photography. And we'll just have a very short opening ceremony. This is the program, and I will just talk briefly about the STARTALK program. And Mr. Chen, our chief teacher, chief instructor, instructional lead, will give us a review of the STARTALK program because he is the STARTALK site visitor. And then we will have Ms. Lola Chunying Yuan as a former instructor with our TROY-STARTALK program and leading some of our newer teachers, newer instructors for the future years, and she will give us a speech. Then we have Mr. Jerry Slocum, and he was our one of our STARTALK students 2 years ago, I think, and he is our line dance and dragon dance coach for you this year. And he's going to review some of the funny part of the STARTALK, or fun part. Okay, STARTALK, as we know, started in 2006. It's been growing. One of the goals of the, let's say, headquarters of STARTALK is to promote at least one STARTALK program in each of the 50 states. So that's a pretty grand goal for them. I think this year they covered over 44, I guess, if I remember correctly. So we have roughly about 200 STARTALK programs going on in the 44 states. Don't quote me on that, it might not be correct. But and the Chinese programs cover about half of the programs, roughly 91, I think. So that's the numbers you see. And we are lucky to have you here with us to learn the Chinese language and culture together. Thank you very much for coming over. So this will be a very tightly arranged timetable, and you experienced it already yesterday. And it will be like this for the next 12 days until Saturday. So be prepared. Okay, we'll be very busy, but we still keep on with the 1-on-2, whatever you call it, one teacher with 2 student participants, because a lot of the students like that very much. They get a chance to ask questions. Probably, I didn't overhear anything. Maybe something personal, but I don't know. Anyway, it's a good way to learn the Chinese language culture because you are actually living it. And the culture, some people say, is never learned, but lived. You know that, right? So you're living it with the native speakers. And you can also talk to our Austin deal as well. Okay, Chinese, of course. If you have any questions. Okay, all right. I'll give the floor over to Mr. Chen. Where is he now? Yes, Mr. Chen, our instructional lead, and he will be teaching one of the classes. Thank you, Mr. Chen.
下午好。
下午好。
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks to TROY University administrators, Dr. Xu, Dr. Feng. They have been working very hard to create this opportunity for our teachers and students to participate this summer program. Actually, they start to work in September last year. Writing proposal, prepare many things to make this program become true. So we come here only for 15 days. Actually, they have to work for almost the entire year to get this program. Because of the budget, some of the universities, they have had this program for many years, but this year they cannot get that. We are very fortunate. So I would like to say thanks to all the teachers of TROY University. Because you're hardworking, we have this opportunity for our teachers and our students to come here to study. 8 years ago, first time I came here as a site visitor on behalf of STARTALK Center to do the program evaluation. We had only teachers program. And Dr. Xu and Dr. Feng, they thought it'd be great to add students program with the teachers. In that way, the local students can have this opportunity to study Chinese language and culture. And also the teachers in the teachers program can have a kind of opportunity to practice teaching. Because of the success of this program, many teachers found a job after this program. And a lot of our student graduates from this program, they keep on learning in high school, in college. Some of our students even earn national prize. Last year, we had only 10 students earn the national reward. One of our STARTALK program students got that prize. That student is in Virginia University. And this summer, she had an opportunity to go to Tsinghua University to study for 1 year. This is all because of our TROY University STARTALK program. On behalf of the teachers, we would like to work hard to provide high quality instruction to all our students and teachers. And for my students, I would like you to work with your hard working to realize your potential. Make a good use of those 15 days. This is just the beginning for your study, because we like you to have the spirit of our STARTALK program. Bring that back to your school. Keep on learning to realize your dream. And for the teachers, I really hope that we work together as a team, collaborate together to get our basic training. With this foundation, I really hope all of you found a job, realize your dream too. So I really hope everybody enjoyed those 15 days. We work hard and have fun within this program. Try to make this program success for another year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. Now, teachers, participants, you know if you couldn't find jobs, who to blame, right? Okay. All right. And now we have Ms. Lola Qin-Yuan to give us a talk about her experiences with TROY-STARTALK. Thank you.
Good afternoon, students, teachers, instructors, and everyone who had worked on this program, who are still working on this program so dedicatedly ever since last year. And I'm so glad that I have this chance to be the representative of former teacher trainees. And I enrolled in this program last summer, and spent 2 wonderful weeks with the other 11 teacher trainees and 24 students. And my experience was really good, very good memory. And last year, when I came, the year before last, when I came to the United States, I thought that it would be easy as pie to teach Americans like you guys to learn Chinese, which is my native tongue that I have been speaking and communicating, negotiating, expressing my desires and dislikes, and sometimes even consent in it for, ever since I was 1 year old, which is the age, according to authority, which is my mom, the time that I started talking. But when I came here, I found that it is not like that. Like one of the popular phrases goes, the ideal is plump, but the reality is skinny. So my experience in teaching Chinese people English for over 10 years back in China actually helped a little bit, but it was not something that you can borrow totally and use it here without changing anything. So I have some experience in teaching a language, but not Chinese. Although I've been speaking this language for so long, it's very hard to make myself understood in a Chinese classroom here, given this specific situation here. So I had some struggles, I had some conflicts, I had some confusions in the first few months. But fortunately enough, here at Troy University, Dr. Xu, Dr. Feng, they have organized all kinds of professional development for us as Chinese teachers here. And among these trainings, the most significant one, the most important one would be STARTALK. Here at STARTALK program, it's not just traditional classroom learning of theories, philosophies of teaching. It's all-inclusive. It's an all-inclusive packet for what you need, and almost like a one-stop shopping experience. You can get the latest theory, the latest philosophy in teaching, and you can also get techniques in classrooms, in Chinese classrooms, that have been proved to be useful and effective. And also, besides learning, you also get chances to practice what you have just learned in a real classroom with real students sitting inside, okay? So it's not a virtual classroom where you cannot see the students. You get to interact with your students. What's more, you have the chance to reflect on what is successful and what still needs to be improved after these teaching practices with these very experienced instructors. So after you graduate, it will be that you will be better equipped for your future development in your career. And in one word, you won't regret for it. And you will also want to be able to come back again. And we also would like to say welcome if you really want to come back again. And this year, I worked for this program since February. Mainly, I'm in charge of the registration application of students campus. And I've read every piece of the application letters that you have written. And I am amazed that there are so many people who wanted to enroll in this program. We have been doing this for 6 years, and this is our 7th year. And that is perhaps why many people have parents and students as well have a faith in us, and they wanted to get enrolled in our program. We have students fly from afar, very far away places. And for those who really wanted to learn Chinese, this is the place, and this is where you really should go. And all in all, you won't regret. And we would like to say that we are glad to have you all, and we wanted to see you guys again next year. Okay, that's all, and thank you.
Lola, and we have, she's responsible for the student program, and we have a person responsible for the teachers program, and her first name is Linda. Linda and Lola, it's interesting, they both chose a name starting with the L, lingual, language, learning. It's interesting, right, to know that. Now we will switch over to the physical or athletic part. Mr. Jerry Slocum, yes, I believe, and he's going to talk to us about his experiences with us. Thank you.
Hello, so my name is Jerry Daniel Slocum Jr. I began my experience with StarTalk about 2 years ago when I was a student here at the camp. I came with very little Chinese knowledge, actually. I only knew how to say hello. And I left with a very strong foundation in Chinese. When I came, I participated in the lion and dragon dance activities, and I had a lot of fun. I would say it was the highlight of my experience. And I left, knowing those two skills, and throughout my time, the Confucius Institute had given me a call and say, hey, we've got an event here in Montgomery, my hometown, and we'd like you to perform. So I gathered a group of my friends, about 7 or 6 of us, to teach them a whole new kind of culture in this dance, and we performed at the Chinese New Year and Spring Festival, and had a lot of fun. And that was about 2 years. This year, Dr. Xu came up to me. She said, hey, Sonia's left, the former instructor. Would you like to teach the lion dance? Would you like to teach dragon dance at the camp this year? And of course, I jumped at the opportunity. I love the camp. I love the idea of coming back. And so here I am teaching now what I learned here at the camp 2 years ago. And I can't say how grateful I am for that opportunity. You'll learn a lot of Chinese. This camp inspired me to take Chinese in school my senior year, which the learning experience was nothing like here. It's unmatched. I learned more here in 2 weeks than I probably learned in 6 months there at school. So this camp is definitely nothing to sneeze at. You guys have all been blessed with an amazing opportunity to study here. And I would like to thank Dr. Feng and Dr. Xu and everyone who's helped put together this program. Southern hospitality is one thing, but the love and compassion I've seen here definitely matches, if not surpasses, what I would expect from my own hometown and my own people. So thank you all very much.
As our Chancellor, Dr. Hawking, said, learning is building a relationship. You are building a relationship with the language and also a relationship with your personal mentor, 2 students, 1 mentor, also building relationship with your classmates. And in this building of the relationship, as I mentioned earlier, we have the support of about 3 persons, either on site or behind the scenes, supporting our StarTalk program for a single student. So we do appreciate their help. At present with us is our TV people. I call them Kyle's people, because Kyle Bozeman is the main contact that I started contacting about 7 years ago for them to give us a video recording of what we've been doing. And they also do interviews. If you see them in the next 10 days, 12 days or so, see them with us, they are actually doing some interviews, interviewing some of us, some of the teachers, some of the newcomers into the program. They may also interview some with you. So be prepared again. Okay, I think that's ends our opening ceremony. Welcome to TROY. Welcome to TROY-STARTALK again, and have fun.